Hey guys, Vinny Lopes here from Off the Block, and the new college men's volleyball national media poll is out. Now I voted for this poll, so let's get down to how I voted this week. Number one, I had UCLA in the top spot on my ballot. Yet again, the Bruins, a nation-long 8-match winning streak. They continue to play well. They're continuing to get great outside production from Robert Page and Gonzalo Quiroga. And now add to the mix Michael Fisher, a freshman who's stepping up on the outside as well. Bruins look impressive, and they look like a team that could potentially get to the Final Four and win the first title in Bruins history since 2006. Now moving down my ballot, number two, I had Loyola, the Ramblers. Once again, I put it number two on my ballot. They're continuing to play great. Joseph Smalzer is just playing out of this world, and there has never been a player from the MIVA that has won a National Player of the Year. I really think that Joseph Smalzer should get consideration. When you look at the kill total that he's putting up, when you look at the aces that he's putting up, think about this. In a 3-game match against Ohio State, quality team, 17 kills and 5 aces. He's playing unbelievable. The Ramblers are playing unbelievable. And very interesting match coming up this weekend for them against Lewis. So they're number two on my ballot. That number three, I'm going to have Pepperdine right there. The Waves are continuing to play great. Josh Taylor is turning into an absolute beast. And then you have a player who's saying him in Matt West, an all-caliber, all-American type setter. The Waves are good. They have a strong block. They're going to continue to play well. Now, moving down on my ballot, I have number 4, BYU. I flipped BYU and Pepperdine this week, well, because of the head-to-head matchup. BYU lost in 5 on the road to Pepperdine, so they dropped behind the Waves. So, but once again, BYU still playing well, had a nice road victory this weekend against USC. They'll be fine. They'll continue to stay within the top 5 for the rest of the season. Now, continuing on my ballot, at number 5, I had USC. The Trojans, once again, continuing to beat the teams they're supposed to beat and lose to teams who you think that they lose to. For the most part this season, that's been the case with them. But I'll tell you, Lucas Yoder is just continuing to play great. Another 20-plus kill match for him this season. And, this is the Trojans team where if they can continue to get a little bit of production at the oppo position, they're going to be just fine, and they could potentially be a Final Four team. So that's my top 5. Now moving down to the bottom 5 on my top 10 ballot. At number 6, I had Long Beach State. The Waves are the 49ers are continuing to play great. Taylor Crabb, 29 kills in a two-game deficit comeback victory for Long Beach State against Stanford earlier this weekend. So they're continuing to play fine. Then at number 7, I have Penn State. The Nittany Lions are continuing to get wins, continuing to get better, and a little bit of a soft part of their schedule, but that's going to ramp up now as they have some big non-conference matches coming up against Ohio State, Loyola, and Lewis. So very interested to see what the Nittany Lions do in the upcoming weeks. Then number 8, I have Lewis and the Flyers. They really, you beat Missouri Baptist last week. That's to be expected. They took care of business. But this is a team that is just getting better, and especially with their pin hitters. When you look at an outside attacker like Greg Petty, coupled with an All-American opposite in Jeff Powell, it's a deadly combination. They're going to continue to be in contention, and it's going to be an interesting 2-team race potentially between Lewis and Loyola for that MIVA title this season. Then at number 9, I have UC Santa Barbara, and this is a team that does a great job blocking. They don't necessarily have that stud outside, but they get the job done running a balanced offense. They're going to be a threat throughout the season. They showed it this past weekend, getting a good victory against Hawaii. And then at number 10, close out my ballot, I have Stanford. The Cardinals, they really had a tough start to start conference play, losing 4 of their first 5 matches, but they were able to get a good rebound victory this past weekend against Cal State Northridge. And I really think that this is going to be a turning point in the Cardinal season, and they're going to get back on track and get into the hunt for a postseason spot. Well, that does it for how I vote this week. Be sure to get all your men's volleyball news and analysis by going to offtheblockblog.com.